So 3 more chapters of Fairy Tale, and these chapters were very good. I'm not gonna lie, I had a absolute blast reading these ones as we get into a new arc in Fairy Tale. Now the first one was the most gaggiest of them all, and I gotta say I was pissing myself laughing in this one. So it's at start we get some great news. If you haven't seen the video already, I'll link it down below. But there has been the announcement of Fairy Tale anime returning, so that is great to hear. And we at the color page we get wonderful Mira Jane plumpies. Just seeing that right in the color page, that was nice to see, and there was a great color page from that. And basically the girls are in the bath, like just talking about what we've been doing. I like that it's going back to old Fairy Tale roots in these latest chapters. Like we've been going, like everyone's been doing missions again and stuff with the guild. It isn't being like one major quest like arc. So I'm glad that Hero's starting to go back more into that, I believe. And as well, like with Urza and like Wendy, they were doing their own one, and they were doing a play, but it was of Rave Master. And if people know, I absolutely love Rave Master, and I love that. That was just a nice another memorabilia of the series. Whenever I see Rave Master, it makes me happy. But also as well during the bath and all that, we got introduced to because there was another girl with red hair, like who the hell's in this bath with us? It's like Kana was wondering, he's saying, oh, it's actually Flair from Raventail, and she was just there, like strangely enough, and saying, Lucy was like, yo, don't stop, she's all right, and she was like joking, saying, yeah, I'll wash you kind of with her hair, and then she's like, I had no place now since Raventail's disbanded, I had no place to go, and Lucy actually invited her into the guild, and I was like, oh shit, like Flair, out of everyone didn't expect her to be joining, and then she said, oh, I don't want to join Fairy Tale, and I was like, oh, you should have joined, Flair, you had that chance when you went, but at the end of that chapter, they got noticed that one of the four strongest, I think, out of the 10 saints, Walrot's second asked them to do a job since like Natsu and Gray have been doing some together, and they haven't been going well since they've spent 3 days fighting, and that sort of leads what is into chapter 342, where Lucy, Urza, Wendy, Gray, and Natsu go off to do this, and they're saying, yo, there's been some quite changes since they've left, since Jose and Jalal, they were part of the 10 Saints, and obviously they're not part of them. And the highest four ranked are called the Ishgal Four Gods. And they've moved to a different continent, and that's what Ishgal is. And we saw one of them in this chapter, which is Walrot second, and he's like a weird plant tree. I thought his head looked like a broccoli at first, like it really does. And he seems to be very jokey about things. He's saying everything's in a joke, and he's actually retired, and he has like this weird plant magic where he's just being fertilizing like deserts, like putting them back, making them into forest, and he's just saying that's a hobby it is. And he's like he wants the gang to go to the village of the sun. And at first I thought, oh, that's like the movie thing. I thought that was like the same thing. And apparently there's like an ever burning flame there, but it got frozen. And that sort of let me interesting. Oh, actually, we might have a whole Deliora thing again, since it might be like frozen flame, and no one knows what's happening. And his like the villagers are supposed to protect the flame, and his request is find out what's going on, save the villagers, and get everything sorted out. And he's saying oh, I'll take you over there, as he like makes this big ass like grass magic come out and makes them fly, and it looked so I know it's probably the wrong series to shoot but One Piece, like it felt very One Piece, like now going on a new adventure. It felt like that, but with Fairy Tail, and that's what I like most about it. And we actually saw a little bit inside of his past, and showed that he was actually originally a Fairy Tail member. He was one of the original members, like hundreds of years ago. He was there with Mavis, Hades, and I don't know who the other guy is, but maybe he might have been like Makarov's grandfather or something. I don't know. Maybe that might be Makarov's grandfather or father, but they were there with Mavis. Like, it was either that or I thought it was like Sting. At first I was like, wait, they look the same, but I thought that either if that is like Sting's ancestor or maybe just I'm going more with the Makarov like family line, but and that's how that one ended. Is say yo fairy tale's born, and then the last one got me very excited. As you can see, this is gonna be pretty long this video, but we the next one they finally arrived and they found out that there were giants like there, and Natsu tried to melt them away and they couldn't do it, and Gray actually had a look as well and he's saying yo this isn't nothing like, I think he said it felt similar but he said it wasn't like Ice Shell, so I decided Ice Shell would be something completely different sort of, since it seems like something else has caused this, and they ran into a bunch of like treasure hunters like called Sylph Labyrinth, and there was like these big ass muscly man like this these other two, and they were saying yo we want the flame. I believe they said they want to get there, and their mission is to like get the flame, while obviously Fairy Tail's one is to melt the ice to save the villagers, and they don't obviously want them doing that because that's going to get in their way, but they had the only way to save the villagers and melt the ice, which is that they've got some moon drip in a little bottle that they managed to get somehow from the island. So I was pretty shocked about that, but they managed to run away, and I guess the next couple of chapters we're going to see that. But the ending really got me interested as we see like these two people talking like that, and I was like, and then I saw it and I knew it was her. It was Minerva. Minerva has joined a dark guild called Succubus Eye. And she's like, yo, I may be a newbie, but you can call me lady. And that's interesting, like, that Minerva has come back so soon into the series. I thought she was gonna like join like Zereth or something like right at the end, try and get back her old father's like justice. I don't know, like, and that's wondering as well, like what actually happened to the father, maybe to the old guildmaster of Sabretooth, what happened to him. So there are many questions still left to be answered, but that ending was there. All three of the chapters were very good. I really had like a lot of fun reading them and enjoying them, especially the first one, because the whole Rave Master and the Flare stuff, like it was good to see them again. Like 342, we got some very much needed answers, sort of that, and get to see like how Fairy Tail started with its members. And then 43, which is it was enjoyable. We're getting like a bit of mystery, and we're getting into our next new arc, a new mission. So now it isn't going to be like hopefully we might have a little few arcs of this. I'm hoping for about 2, maybe 3 arcs of like them doing missions like this, and then they're just going to go back to to the serious plot, maybe like a training arc or I don't know, but like or maybe get on with Zereth. But I can see that the Eternal Flame, Natsu might have something to do with that. Maybe that might power him up. Maybe he can, if he eats that, maybe he can do Dragon Force by will or something. I don't know, like, since he's always had to eat something to get in Dragon Force. But let me know in the comments section below what you thought about this. I thought this was, some great chapters. But that's all from me. Thank you very much for watching. As always, remember, Savagezweipanda, sign out, and I'll see you next time, people.